Hey there, I'm Maz, and welcome to Maz Show. This is your space to explore big ideas through books, society, knowledge, and history, all with one goal to build a better world and a brighter future. If you are curious, reflective, and ready to grow, you're in the right place. So tap follow, hit subscribe, and let's get thinking.
Picture this: a prosperous nation with Western ideals promoting religious diversity and women's rights transforms overnight into an anti-Western theocracy. Today, we're diving into the 1979 Iranian Revolution, how a movement against corruption became a complete reinvention of a society and what it means for our world today.
You know, what's fascinating is that this wasn't just another revolution. Iran was actually one of the most progressive countries in the Middle East at the time.
Wait, really? That's not the Iran most people picture today.
Exactly. According to historical records, before 1979, Iran had rapid advancements in education, women could vote, work as doctors and lawyers, and the economy was booming.
So what changed? How did we go from that to, well, what we see today?
Well, it all starts with Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi's ambitious modernization program called the White Revolution. He wanted to transform Iran into a global power.
The White Revolution sounds promising. What did that involve?
It was this aggressive modernization program that completely upended traditional power structures. The Shah redistributed land from wealthy landowners, pushed rapid industrialization, and gave women unprecedented rights.
But those sound like positive changes. Why would people revolt against that?
Here's where it gets complicated. While the program was economically successful, the benefits weren't distributed evenly. Plus, the Shah's regime was incredibly oppressive.
Oppressive how?
The Shah used Savak, his American-trained secret police, for mass murder, torture, and imprisonment of opponents. And despite all the modernization, there was rampant corruption and incompetence among officials.
So beneath the shiny surface of progress.
There was a lot of darkness, yeah. And you know what's really interesting? The protesters initially just wanted to end the corruption and oppression. They weren't actually trying to create an Islamic state.
Wait, what? But that's exactly what happened.
Right? It's one of history's great ironies. The revolution brought together this diverse coalition: clergy, landowners, intellectuals, merchants, students, and leftists.
So how did it end up becoming an Islamic revolution?
Well, Ayatollah Khomeini and his supporters proved to be the best organized. They effectively used religious networks and messaging to mobilize people, especially in traditional rural areas.
And the other groups just went along with this?
Not exactly. But by the time they realized what was happening, it was too late. The clerical group quickly moved to exclude their former allies, the leftists, nationalists, and intellectuals, from any positions of power.
That's fascinating. You know what strikes me? The role of foreign powers in all this.
Oh, absolutely. The CIA and British intelligence had actually orchestrated a coup in 1953 to keep the Shah in power. That foreign interference created deep resentment.
So in a way, Western support for the Shah ultimately backfired?
Completely. And it led to one of the most dramatic moments, the 1979 hostage crisis, where Iranian students seized 66 Americans at the U.S. Embassy.
Right, that was huge. But let's talk about the immediate changes after the revolution. What happened?
It was like flipping a switch. The Family Protection Act, which had given women rights in marriage, was immediately voided. Revolutionary committees started patrolling streets, enforcing Islamic codes.
That must have been terrifying for people who'd gotten used to Western-style freedoms.
Absolutely. Many of the Western-educated elite fled the country. And you know what's interesting? The violence and brutality often exceeded what had happened under the Shah.
So they replaced one form of oppression with another?
In many ways, yes. Though supporters would argue they were restoring traditional values and fighting Western imperialism.
Let's talk about the economic impact. What happened there?
Well, before the revolution, Iran's economy was growing at twice the rate of similar countries. The middle class was expanding, and there was significant foreign investment.
And after?
The entire economy was overhauled to align with Islamic principles. Foreign investment dried up, and Iran became increasingly isolated internationally.
You mentioned the middle class earlier. What happened to them?
That's one of the revolution's great ironies. The Shah's modernization created an educated middle class that ultimately became critical of his regime.
So his own policies kind of contributed to his downfall?
Exactly. And here's another interesting point. Recent studies show that if Iran held a referendum today, over 70% would oppose the Islamic Republic.
Wow, That's a striking statistic. Where's that from?
That's according to Tehran political science professor Sadegh Zibakalam. And remember, he's not an exiled dissident, but someone within the system.
That really puts things in perspective. Let's talk about women's rights. You mentioned earlier how progressive Iran was before the revolution.
Yes, and this is perhaps where the changes were most dramatic. Before 1979, Iranian women were active participants in society. They could be doctors, lawyers, judges.
And now?
Well, according to recent studies, even after 40 years, women's rights haven't recovered to where they were before the revolution.
That's quite sobering. What about education?
Interestingly, literacy rates have more than doubled since the revolution, especially among women. So there have been some positive developments.
It's never simple, is it?
No, and that's what makes this revolution so fascinating. It's full of contradictions and unintended consequences.
Let's talk about Iran's international position. How did the revolution change that?
Dramatically. Iran went from being one of America's closest allies in the Middle East to leading what they call the axis of resistance against Western influence.
And we're still seeing the effects of that today, aren't we?
Absolutely. Just look at current events, the tensions with Israel, the nuclear program, the proxy conflicts across the Middle East. It all traces back to 1979.
You know what's striking? How quickly it all happened.
Right? In just a matter of months, centuries of monarchy ended, and Iran completely transformed its identity.
Could something like this happen again?
Well, recent research suggests that major political disruptions like the Iranian Revolution create permanent structural breaks in a country's development trajectory.
Meaning?
Meaning these aren't just temporary shocks, they fundamentally alter the path a country takes, affecting everything from economic growth to institutional quality.
That's fascinating and somewhat terrifying.
It is. And you know what's really interesting? Iran's revolution has become a model for other movements, both for what to do and what to avoid.
Like a cautionary tale?
Exactly. It shows how a popular movement for freedom can end up creating something very different from what its supporters initially wanted.
So as we wrap up, what's the big takeaway from all this?
I think it's that revolutions, even when they start with the best intentions, can take unexpected turns, and their effects can last for generations.
And sometimes the cure can be worse than the disease.
Precisely. The Iranian Revolution reminds us that social change is complex, and its consequences often reach far beyond what anyone could predict.
Remember, revolutions might happen overnight, but their echoes can last for generations. Thanks for listening.
Show, let's go, open up your mind and grow. Facts and stories, things you never know. Every episode, we light the glow. Step into the world of Mad Show. Turn it up, let the river flow. Feel the beat, take control. Don't be shy, just let it go. This is where the magic grows. Tune in now, it's the Mash Show. Lights up bright and minds will glow. Every day we learn and grow. Come along and join the flow. New ideas begin to shine. Breaking limits, crossing lines. Every moment feels divine. In the world of Mash Show time. Turn it up, let the river flow. Feel the beat, take control. Don't be shy, just let it go. This is where the magic grows. Tune in now, it's the Mash Show. Lights up bright and minds will glow. Every day we learn and grow. Come along and join the flow.